Spoilers ahead.
Oh, I like that too. That's wait a minute now.
The off-season.
When we last saw Shoresy, things were all rather bittersweet. I had spent the last 3 episodes of Season 3 growing more and more devastated on his behalf, which, of course, culminated in his realization that he could no longer play hockey. At first glance, Season 3 appears to end on a high note. He's got the girl he's been after, the Bulldogs won the championship, and it looks like Shoresy has a few new jobs lined up. In the most shallow of ways, Shoresy is in a good place. But what happens to a person whose whole identity is based around this one thing they love after that one thing is violently ripped away? That is what Season 4 has set itself up to try to answer. It's a heavy question and one I unfortunately relate to, so you could say I'm rather invested. Yeah, so I guess the only question is, does Episode 1 set the fucking tone? To put it bluntly, yes, it definitely sets the tone. Unfortunately for Shoresy and the rest of the Bulldogs crew, that tone seems rather dark, at least comparatively. Episode 1 is actually rather light on the vulgar chirping we have grown used to over the years. Especially quiet is Shoresy himself, which I kinda think speaks volumes to his current state. The episode starts with Dolo, Ted Hitchcock, which is funny because if you say it real fast, it sounds like Ted Hitchcock, Goody, and Michaels on a lake partying with the Cub. Clearly, they are still living off that high of being the greatest whale shit hockey team in all of Canada. Is the river they're partying on in Wasaga? Probably. Wasaga is amazing.
M'a dit donc qu'il te raconte son tuggy on a tube.
You got a tuggy on a tube?
Yeah, Goody got a tube tuggy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. J'étais là.
That's so cool.
Tubing's unbelievable.
Yeah, the boys love tubing.
We then cut to Nat, who, even in the off-season, is working hard to keep the Bulldogs in top shape. For her, that means instructing Zieg and Migwan to keep the boys in line while out partying.
We've had some tall orders with this gig, but this one's the Matterhorn.
This is Kilimanjaro.
This is Kangchenjunga.
Meanwhile, when they ask her what her job is going to be, she replies,
Shoresy.
She points out that he gave everything, including his body, to the team, and that
We owe it to him to make sure he's okay out there.
this exchange is brief but deep. Shoresy is the kind of person that has engrossed himself so deeply into his career and beliefs that facing the loss of it is like losing himself. What else is he good at? What else will fill that hole that now sits inside him? Who is he without that thing? How can he not lose without being able to play the game? Nat recognizes that and flat out states that she has to ensure that he is all right mentally. We've seen Nat as a good GM. We've seen her as a good friend. But this rather small moment speaks volumes to her as a leader. Good leaders don't let their people drown. They don't leave them out to rot all alone. They go out, pick them up, and drag them to victory. In her first scene of the season, Nat has already transformed into something more. Bravo, Mr. Kiso. You never cease to amaze me.
Just like that, you a motherfucking just like that, you a motherfucking bad.
At about 5 minutes into our 20-minute episode, we finally see Shoresy. Still sporting that short hair, he is preparing for 3-on-1. Bro Dude's new internet show with Shoresy, Anik, and a yet-to-be-determined third host. Right from the start, I noticed how subdued Kiso was playing it. He comes off more like Letterkenny's Wayne than Shoresy. Sure, he still tells people they're fucking idiots and asks for an occasional dip, but he just seems off. He's more like a Shoresy AI, close, but not quite right.
Congratulations. You are 2/3 of Bro Dude's new hockey show, 3-on-1, a sports show where 3 panelists discuss one topic. How's it feel?
C'est malade. Don't care at all.
Meanwhile, back in Wasaga, the Jims show up to the party, only to be left behind on the dock.
Sorry, boys. She's full to the brim.
We'll get you on the way back.
Cut into the rest of the episode are some rather unnerving shots of the Jims. I'm honestly concerned about where this is going. back to Shoresy, over the course of the episode, we get 3 scenes of him paired up with potential co-panelists in an attempt to fill that third spot. The goal, of course, being to get him to start chirping like he did on the ice. After all, that is what attracted Brodude to him in the first place. The scenes kind of play out like a retelling of Goldilocks.
One of the great captains of all time. One of the most beloved Leafs ever. And certainly the most respected, mesdames et messieurs, Dougie Gilmour.
Thank you for having me, Annick.
Shoresy, we'll start with you.
You should start with Dougie Gilmour.
I like to move clockwise.
Hockey people will want to hear from Dougie Gilmour.
Just Doug works.
No, I respect you too much. Stick the elbow out on Marty.
Doug Gilmour, he respects too much and is overly nice. This frustrates Annick and Emma, the producer.
This isn't the Shoresy we want.
Was the tooth a mistake?
Hockey players respect the hierarchy. You can't beat it out of them. He respects Doug Gilmour too much.
Marty McSorley, he respects too much, but would still spear in the face if it meant winning.
And joining us today is legendary fighter, Stanley Cup champion, not to mention the great once protector, mesdames et messieurs, Marty McSorley.
Thanks for having me, Annick.
You should start with Mr. McSorley. He threw straight down the pipe.
Then I look forward to his answer right after yours.
She should start with Mr. McSorley.
You're talking to me again, Shoresy.
I don't want to be called Mr. McSorley.
I thought you didn't respect Marty.
Who said I didn't respect Mr.
If you don't want him talking to you, then you can't talk to him.
He said he'd stick the elbow out on Marty.
Don't talk to me either.
That doesn't mean I don't respect him.
Don't call me Mr. McSorley.
I'd stick the elbow out on a small disabled dog if it got me a W.
I'm not your dad. I don't know his mom.
Well, neither do I, but if I did, I'd hope she'd bang Marty McSorley.
But he's still too nice. This really frustrates Annick and Emma, the producer.
What a flop.
It's not a flop.
What a bust.
Oh, it's not a bust yet.
Well, if it is, his dental work's coming out of your paycheck.
Finally, they bring in Sean Avery, that fucking rat.
Call it tactics, call it antics, call it effective in the end. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
He's like a real-life Shoresy, if Shoresy was a total dick with no endearing qualities. Needless to say, I kind of like him, even if he was a New York Rangers degen. But more importantly than my opinion, Annick and Emma, the producer, like him too.
Who's clicking away from that?
Sean and Shoresy immediately start up the verbal barrage of insults, totally derailing the show's topic of the day. So, I guess they found the third.
Sean Avery.
I never get sick of hearing my own name.
Today's topic, who is the best fighter in hockey?
Are you gonna sit like that the whole time?
Like what?
Like a woman.
This makes you uncomfortable?
No, what makes me uncomfortable is you're wearing enough cologne for 20 broads.
It's not my cologne.
That's her labia.
That's my hair
It's
product.
her fallopian tube.
There are only 3 brief periods this episode that bring the real Shoresy out. First, his being around some of the NHL's all-time greats, which highlights his loss to the game itself.
Oh, you're the funniest guy in Canada, Avery?
I'm actually American now.
Well, of course you are, you fucking border hopper.
I'm a dual citizen living in LA.
Fucking fence rider.
I love the US.
Go borrow a cup of sugar from your neighbor, you get shot in the dick.
Next, when he's spending time with his teammates, highlighting his loss of being in the room, leading the boys.
Well, the boys are busy.
No, you're not.
All the boys are busy.
With what?
Did you not just hear me say Goody went tubing with 2 10s?
On Tuesday.
So Goody got a tuggy on a tube.
Ah, les gars, ils sont occupés, Nat, ça n'est-
And finally, at the end of the episode, when he's trying to convince his girlfriend, Laura Moore, that he's ready to take the next steps in their relationship.
This is going really well.
I know,
Yeah?
and I'm scared. I'm terrified.
You gotta be careful when you got kids, Shoresy. I don't let just any dude in. I gotta be sure. And for me to be sure, you gotta be sure.
Sure.
Funny side note, something that I've always had a question about. Does Shoresy drive? Well, this episode answers that question. No, he doesn't. He just awkwardly rides his bike around town. Back to what I was saying. Unfortunately, she is not sure he's ready and urges him to go out, have fun, and make sure.
Sure.
Shoresy insists that he's ready, to which Laura replies,
We shall see.
So the stage is set for season 4. Shoresy has a battle to wage, finding happiness within himself, with Nat helping him along. The boys are looking to keep their party going all summer, while Zieg and Sigwan try to keep them under control and the team's reputation intact, and the Gyms continue their quest to catch that ride on a speedboat. Or murder everyone. Honestly, it could go either way, and that terrifies me. Needless to say, the writing, especially the dialogue and performances, are still superb, and I'm all in on the story after only 20 short minutes, although, to be fair, I am biased because I was in before the season started. I find it amazing how deep this show is able to go, all while keeping up the appearance of a lowbrow comedy about hockey players. My only hope is that this doesn't all end in tragedy. I know. Fat fucking chance. Still, I'm rooting for you, Shoresy. Season 4. Let's fucking go!
Sure.